when we come to the cooperation that I want to mention is the idea for the Socrates theater was yours. You came up with it. You brought together high-ranking actors of the National Theatre. You put them together. You were all the way there, and then you put it on an ancient Greek theater also. How was the idea going to Greek and being played by an Ethiopian, Greek history being played by an Ethiopian actors and actresses? How was it received?
Well, I have to say that this is what was closest to my heart, really, because that brought me so close with Ethiopians you cannot believe. Ethiopians are real brothers. I say it and I can say it and I can sign it. How it happened? I was, in my office with the Bebe Setu. Everybody knows the Bebe Setu is a myth here in Ethiopia. Is the president of all African actors. Is really some fantastic personality. So we were discussing with him, and I told him maybe we can cooperate in the National Theatre. He said with pleasure. And then I said, I proposed Socrates because everybody knows Socrates, and because Socrates has all these meanings about democracy and freedom and everything. And he answered to me, Ambassador, Your Excellency, said, but that was also my dream to play Socrates. So it was a fantastic, coincidence of minds, meeting of minds. And then we started. It took us a whole year of preparations because, the National Theatre has the best, really the best actors. But they were not born Greek, so we had to explain to them how to make it more Greek because they wanted to present it in a nice way. And me and my wife, we went for at least 20 times in the rehearsals to try to make it more Greek, to present everything as it was. And they really managed. Just to tell you something nice happening from the rehearsals. Socrates was there, hungry. The Bebe was very hungry in the play. So his wife comes to bring him a little bread to eat. So he takes the bread and does like this. Yes, makes a cross, as you do here, Christians do here. And then I stand and say, cut, 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 because the Christ was not yet born. Christ was not born at the time. That was before Christ. Just to give you an example, how you have to pay attention, but it's so nice, so nice. So we try to make, Greek music and Greek clothes and Greek spirit, and they
Sophia was involved in the design of the clothes.
Yes, she overlooked the music, she overlooked movements, she overlooked the design of clothes. I have to thank her very much. Without her, it would not have been possible. And so we continued together for a whole year to prepare it. And then October 2017, we had to present it to the National Theatre. It was a happy coincidence because at that time exactly, we celebrated 100 years of diplomatic relations between Greece and Ethiopia. It was a milestone, and we said to make it, a nice milestone with Socrates. Bado Egger in Ethiopian, because that comes from history of the play, because his wife accuses Socrates of being a hero. Despite of being a hero, he had fought in all the wars. He didn't have even shoes to wear. He was going out barefoot. So that's why it's barefoot Bado Egger, barefoot in Athens. And that very day, 31st of October 2017, in the presence of the Ethiopian Minister of Culture, Ms. Hirut Valdemariam, and in the presence of 1,200 persons in a cramped National Theatre, we did it. Everybody was so happy. The minister told us, thanked us from her heart because we offered a fantastic art forum here in Ethiopia. People were clapping hands all the time, participating. Socrates, but the Bebe Setu and Socrates in the play was first to speak about freedom of speech, democracy. It's exactly the same things your Prime Minister now is saying about freedom of speech and democracy. So they tell the same things. And they told me from the National Theatre it's the first ever theatrical play that they continue for a second year, which gave us also some other ideas, this success. Say, Socrates lived in Athens. Why not take Socrates where it lived. He lived there in Athens. And we started this. That was really difficult because we managed to find sponsors, Greek sponsors, for every step. So we covered Greek sponsors covered all the expenses, everything. We took the whole National Theatre with these fantastic actors. They are number one. And we went to Greece for October 1st, 2018. That was last year, the day of my birthday. And the best ancient open theatre in the world, that had been voting officially last year, the best open ancient theatre in the world, on our sacred hill Acropolis. And that's exactly where, and now I'm feeling, really, where Ethiopians performed in front of 9 ministers, 4,000 people. But that's nothing if I tell you what is most important. It was more touching for me. It was as I saw Greeks and Ethiopians together crying, not just watching, but crying of emotions for this thing, listening in Amharic. Because of course, we translate it in Greek and English. We put the letters there, but it was held in Amharic. And I can tell you, I don't exaggerate, that the Ethiopian brothers managed to play at least as well as Greeks, not to say even better, because they had all this drive they want to play, and they managed, and they were crying. We organized a special edition of stamps that was also a first in history, commemorative stamps for our 100 years and for Socrates, Badoegger, in the Greek National Theatre. So the Greek Post Office issued these stamps for Ethiopia. And your President of the Republic, when he invited me, as I told you before, to tell me that I'm a brother, he was so happy about this, about the stamps and the advertisement I made also of Ethiopia to Greece, not just of Greece to Ethiopia. He said that I'm not just ambassador of Greece to Ethiopia, but also ambassador of Ethiopia to Greece. So if the President of the Republic tells this to you, really everything is, you feel proud. You say, okay, it's no problem if you work more, because you feel nice.
Gives energy.
Yeah, you feel nice. And now the National Theatre, they continue. They are really fantastic, not because they cooperate with us, but they are really very nice. They continue, they will continue, and we have in mind also to find other Greek things for them to continue in the future. And also other plans. Maybe also they will use Socrates, to go around in Ethiopia, and also Socrates to go around in other African countries to export in a brotherly cooperation like this to other African countries, always in Amharic. Starting maybe from, that's the first plan I can tell you, starting maybe from Asmara, it will be the first. Because, in Eritrea are very close, the same race as Ethiopia, they can start there, present Socrates, and then bring even closer also Ethiopians and Eritreans. So that's our plan for the future. It doesn't stop here.
So, Ambassador Patakias, that's really impressive. And what I find very interesting and what I appreciate about you, that you are a smart diplomat, is it's not the theory, at the top level. You integrated the people through creating this kind of platform by the theater and other social events. I think that's the best way to have a diplomatic relation with the two countries. And you have done that, I think, and it's really impressive.
Thank you very much. It is, we're going to continue. We were just trying to lay the foundations, for a relaunch of the relations, because there are many things to do. As I told you, what is most important is the feeling. Why some Greeks prospered so much easily here? Because they felt close. People, in modern times, they forget about the human factor. And the human factor here in Ethiopia is very important. It's very important. Why? Because Ethiopians are not like other Africans. They have a long history, so they're proud. You are proud people. And that, I think, unites also Greeks and Ethiopians. When you have a long history, you feel better, you feel proud inside. You have the stimulus. And when somebody respects you, then you perform better. So I had also some examples, people coming to me from Greek companies, and that's something else. Yes, I could tell you also that a director of a Greek company came here and asked to thank me. I said, please come, because I said, well, why would you like to thank me? I don't know you even. He said, because we had a meeting in the ministry, and we cooperated perfectly. They accepted our proposals. Everything went fluidly. And that's good for both Greeks and Ethiopians. But it was surprisingly nice. And then I said, okay, what has to do with this with me? I asked him. I said that he asked the minister, say, why everything went so nicely and everybody was happy and quick. And the minister said, but we saw your ambassador on TV saying that we are brothers, and we treated you as brothers, and you treated us as brothers. That's why everything was perfect. I mean, that's a satisfaction. So to have result even if you are not there, because you create a climate. So I don't think, I just feel myself just as a worker, opening the way for others to come behind me in cooperation. You cannot do anything alone. In today's world, you cannot do anything alone. We need teamwork. We are brothers. It's nice we are brothers. It's nice we love each other. We love you, and you know that, and we proved it. But we have to cooperate also, really, in a teamwork. And I think we managed to arrive at this point. We have even first examples of good teamwork of Greece and Ethiopia. And I would like to see this continue. And I would like to see Greece and Ethiopians cooperate even closer in all fora. Also in African Union, we tried to boost, Ethiopian views and views that are good for the whole of Africa. It's not just the Agenda 2063. It's now you're trying to open, the airspace. You try to open the visa for inside Africa. All this process will facilitate Africans to feel better and work and unite and progress and prosper. It's time to stop divisions. You have to cooperate. Why? And like we did with Africa. Why Ethiopia is so nice? Why Ethiopia is so, rich, dynamically rich? Because it has 82, others say 84, tribes or races, but they all have to live together. I mean, that's the message: unity. So I see now, first in the African Union, I see these steps for unity. When you open the borders for the visas, when you open the airspace, when you open commerce with all these initiatives now towards 2063 and 2023, the two agendas, then you bring people closer, you bring more unity. Also, Ethiopia needs that. With the unity, Ethiopians have so many different opinions, different cultures, different, others are Christians, others are Muslims, but they cooperate well together. There is a mosque here, there is a church here. No problem. It's very nice to have them both, to show this nice approach towards all people. So it's an example. Ethiopia has already given the example of collaboration, of coexistence. You have to advertise this. And I think this is something we all want for Ethiopia, unity, and for Africa, the same thing. We are going to work for that also. We're going to contribute. Greeks are going to do our most for that. I have to tell you also something not to forget. I take the opportunity to say that you are lucky because you have a prime minister who took some initiatives and changed the climate. I was the first ambassador to openly congratulate your new prime minister at that time in official, in all the TV channels here, and to tell he's not representing just the hope only for Ethiopia, with what he did, with Eritrea and many, and also here, but the hope for the whole Horn of Africa. So that's what I did, and I repeat that. And you're happy to have it. Greece would stay with me or without me afterwards, stay next to Ethiopia all the time. That I can promise to you because I send my reports to my ministers, and I finish here. There was a tangible result just 1 month ago after my proposals in my ministry. There was a meeting of the ministers, minister, vice minister, etc., and they decided officially to give more emphasis to Ethiopia and to Africa, and I'm happy for that.
That's really good. So how is Greece going to partner with Africa? Now you mentioned unity should be there for African countries to unite with no visa and the continental free trade agreements that's going on. It's all to bring Africans together. And the Europeans, they have already united and they have already passed that. What's Greece's role going to be? How are you going to partner with Africa to achieve this goal that we have set?
Yeah, that could be multifaceted. One is to transfer our experiences, because we have been there in the European Union long time and we have progressed. So we can transfer our experience to help Africa do the same thing faster. Because of course it was not without hurdles. But then from the obstacles you learn and you go. But if you transfer your experience, then Africans will do it faster. Because they will learn from our mistakes. We also made mistakes, everybody makes mistakes. So that's one thing. Second is to try to promote Ethiopian and African views within the European Union in the context, because we understand you better. We understand you better, and that's more important. So if we understand brothers' opinion and brothers' needs, we can promote this. Because in reality, that's something I did for many years before I did development cooperation. I was geographical coordinator, that's director, a kind of director, geographical coordinator, 33 persons, making projects with European money in different African countries. So I did the farms, factories, even newspapers. And I took just one thing as a teaching, that you cannot help somebody if you don't understand his needs. That was a mistake done by, Europeans sometimes. They say, what I think you need is that I'm going to give you. No. You have to see what is your need. So if I offer something, I help you better, and then we cooperate, teamwork, to satisfy your need. So that's what I'm also going to transmit. I've already done. I continue doing this. So that's, I think, the best way.
So how do you summarize now that your ambassadorship in Ethiopia, if you can say that, it's come to an end, you are assigned somewhere else, you are promoted for the works that you have done in Ethiopia and East Africa, you are also representative to South Sudan and Djibouti. How do you summarize your stay here in Africa and Ethiopia? What was your stay like? On a personal level, you can talk about.
Yeah, I tell you. Just before that, you mentioned Djibouti. I have to say that we try to do the same about Djibouti. We organized there the first Greek Djibouti week to bring people closer, products, and B2B contacts with entrepreneur businessmen. So we did the same thing for Djibouti. And now you tell me my experience. It was really moving. It was my first post as an ambassador. As I told you, I came here because I wanted to come here. I knew what I'm going to face. Sometimes everyday life, we have to be honest, is a bit difficult, but that makes it more interesting. More interesting because you see in the people's eyes that they want to collaborate. So it's not just words. It's not just words. So after, I have, what I tell you, I have mixed feelings. Why I have mixed feelings? Because of course, I was decorated, I'm happy for that. It was recognized what we did. But leaving Ethiopia means that I'm going to lose some very good friends, some good brothers. And we came close, me and my wife, with many people. Some of them were really fantastic, I can tell you. Different situations bring people closer because heart matters more. So going now, I'm not losing, but I'm going to be away, from some brothers, and that causes me mixed feelings. I'm both happy and unhappy, but I'm very moved. And I thank very much, you for inviting me here, and thanks your channel, and I thank really all Ethiopians, because being close to me as brothers, you helped me. I didn't do anything myself. I just tried to stimulate, and partnership and working together. If I managed, I'm happy, and I hope that continues even without me. But I will be thinking always of Ethiopia, wherever I be, and I hope I come quickly back, not as an ambassador, but as a representative, as a tourist, as a brother, to see you again.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. You are most welcome, and we wish you all the best wherever you go, because like you said, you are a true brother. You have done a lot for our relationships. You have committed yourselves for 4 years commitment to Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa, and we really appreciate your efforts here, and we wish you all the best in your next endeavors, your assignments.
Thank you very much for everything. It was a pleasure, an honor, and satisfaction for me. Amasa ginale. Amasa ginale. And I can tell something, I have to tell that I wish that long live this Greek-Ethiopian brotherhood. Η Greek Nea Ethiopia, Wedadzinet Lezelalem Yinur.
Thank you, Ambassador. That's all we have on this edition of African View. Till next time, I'm Edith Masu. Bye.